Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tal'Darim altar right here. Yes. Tal'Darim altar. This is the second in this best of 5 series. I bring you
Empire Kas.
In the yellow trunks, he is playing Terran to the northwest. And I do mean the northwest of this particular map. Versus his opponent, the late stand-in from Team Mouse Sports.
Mouse Sports Mana.
And he is to the southeast. This should be a fantastic matchup. Far positions, I'm expecting a fairly long game. Kas was defeated very soundly, if I'm totally honest, and I don't think a lesser Protoss player could have pulled that off. It was a very heavy Marine strategy. He was on 3 bases. He was going for nothing but barracks. It was a no-gas approach. He was looking for bunker placement, but because of the deft actions of Maus Mana's Stalkers, the bunkers were denied, and then the cleanup happened at the end. It was excellent play. Really, really great. Kas opening up. And we'll see whether or not he decides to change his strategy around just a little bit against Mana, or whether or not he'll try and execute it again and see if he can do it better. Say, Kas did not do all that well there. It's unfortunate. I mean, Kas is such a beastly Protoss. And bear in mind, he also lost the Black Dragon League earlier. He is out of the Black Dragon League. He lost to Soke. So I don't know what he's feeling right now in terms of his versus Protoss. There was 5,000 on the line for that one, so I'm thinking that maybe Kas is feeling a little bit, maybe his confidence has been shaken a bit, but it doesn't sound like Kas to me, but there's always that psychological element. He just came off playing a TVP where he lost to a great player, and now he's got a player like Mana who is at least as good as Soke, certainly. Mana, a fantastic player. Tech Lab coming down right here for Empire Kas, so this is a complete deviation in strategy. Now, why would you go for that early Tech Lab? This, to me, actually just looks like the basic 3 barracks stim timing push, and we'll find out as to whether or not that's the case. Mana will, of course, be able to scout it. That is to be expected. Nothing unusual about that. Oh, look at that. Nice grab there by Kas. It doesn't even break stride as he punches that probe in the face. He's clotheslined it. Good God. I'm liking it. Okay, doesn't quite have what he needs for stim just yet. Now, Mana deals really well with this 3-rack stim timing push. He really, really does. But he's not going for that. This is concussive shell push. There you go. That's a good piece of deviation right there. Thinking that he can get in a little bit earlier with the aggression, which actually is kind of smart. As I said, Mana has this history of being able to deal with it. And the last example I can give of that actually happening that I cast was versus Jinro, where he crushed Jinro's 3-rack stim timing push without any problems at all. Bear in mind this was fairly soon after the nerf to stim, so things may have changed around, but this aggressive approach from Kas could work out very well. It's heavy on the Marauders, and I don't think that, bearing in mind what Mana's actually scouted, he suspects this. I don't think he would. He's got 2 more gateways on the way. One over there. And of course, those sentries are not going to prove to be useful at all, really. The Marauders will be able to lock them down quite nicely. And it's an SCV backed up push as well, so we are looking for bunker contain. This is going to be dangerous for Mana. Very dangerous. It'll be difficult to defend. The stim will follow up behind this. This is a good deviation from the build. Let's see what he's got to defend against it. 1 Stalker and 2 sentries is nowhere near enough. And Kas will be able to deny an expansion right here. And as you'll notice, Mana actually has very little map control. But he does have a proxy pylon coming in. 2 more gateways on the way as Kas gets aggressive. Looking perhaps to pick off the pylons. That would be the most sensible thing he can do right now. There we go, a little bit of harassment right now. He would be able to shut down 1 gateway, but the spread is quite nice, as you can see right there. The gateways are looking pretty damn good, and Mana should be able to push this away. However, he'll fall back in our reinforcements streaming across the field, and he's got a bunker. Looking perhaps to place a second and deny any kind of expansion opportunity, and the expansion is coming behind this push for Kas, which is absolutely to be expected. It's going to take a lot of firepower to bring this bunker down. That's firepower that right now Mana does not have. Sentries are not all that effective against bunker armor. No way. Mana will be forced to hold back, or will he? He has 4 gateways. He could, if he so desired, warp in, and that's what he's doing. 3 Stalkers plus a Zealot. Is Kas ready to deal with it? He has a bunker on the way. He will get the bunker up in time by the looks of it. And, Kas is scouting right now, a smart maneuver. And in the meantime, there's that attack of the bunker. The bunker will be salvaged. No problems at all. And he's pulled back from that line since he's a little bit too suspicious about what's going on. Does he see it? I don't think he spotted it. That's really unfortunate. However, Kas is falling back, so any kind of 4 gateway aggression should be easy to defend with 2 of those bunkers in. Now, let's have a look at Kas's base. What's he got in the meantime? Reactor coming down right here. 3 barracks play. Engineering bay looking for those upgrades. That's actually 2 barracks. Never mind. 2 barracks play with bunkers. It'll be hard to defend against a 4 gate, but it's certainly doable. Especially if you happen to be Empire Kas. I'd just be concerned about his army count right now, because Mana's looking at 18 versus... Sorry, yes, 32 versus 18. Kas is looking not so great right now, but I don't know. 3 bunkers might be able to hold it. Does he have stim? He does. He's looking for a marine shield as well. He won't have it in time. He doesn't have the +1 either. Here comes the firepower, raining down for those bunkers. He's got to pull, surely pulling workers off the line, dude. Actually, no, he doesn't get it in time. That's problematic. If he could have repaired that, that would have been good, but he's now into pull workers. More firepower raining down. Will he be able to hold off Mana's attack? It's a very, very dangerous attack. Look at the army count right now, plummeting for Empire Kas. Looks like he might be able to push it away, though. He's able to get a good angle of attack. That bunker is holding. Somehow, look at the state of that bunker. What the hell happened to it? In the meantime, Kas with a vicious counter-strike, but Warpins are coming in behind it. He needs more units immediately. Holding this on 2 barracks is going to be pretty damn tricky. Takes out 1 Stalker, looks for the second one right there. Flanks around. Repairs are not fast enough. Pulls it off immediately. More SCVs coming off the line. Mana should be able to get pushed away here, I think. Looking very likely. Warpins are coming out, but that attack is petering out. Can he get in there before more bunkers come in? He doesn't really have the units, I don't think. Kas should be able to hold that. I want to know what kind of economic damage he took. 21 SCVs to 27, and Mana hasn't even expanded right now. Mana continues to push on this 4 gateway pressure. He has no follow-up to this right now, and the +1 weapon upgrade is on its way. If he can get the bunkers up and if he can hold this line, Kas will be in a great position. Mana really is throwing a lot of units at this. He has no tech follow-up of any description, and he has no expansion, and Kas does. Also, it's Terran, so it means he has an orbital command. So, in reality, yes, he can make up that deficit. Looking pretty damn strong right now. Look at this. Kas able to easily mine those minerals. Get what he needs to follow this one up. And this is going to be a very slow attack from Mana. Really, really is. Doesn't have blink, so there's no nonsense going on right there. Kas isn't even mining any gas right now. He's got just enough. If Mana attempts to go in for this, he will lose this fight. The +1 weapon upgrade will be up. There's no way the Protoss can handle that. It's just not happening. Mana has still no follow-up, which is very, very surprising. He's looking for an overwhelming force, and I don't think he's going to get it. He still has an army supply advantage, but he's vastly behind in terms of upgrades. And Kas perhaps actually risking a little bit too much right there, but he only loses a couple of Marines, so he should be all right, I would think. 3 bunkers available, and he should be able to easily pull off that line. The battered bunker, will it hold? It will not. There's no repairs for him right there. Kas not quite quick enough on the repairs right there. He does have the firepower to drive him away, though, especially with +1. And another expansion coming up. Kas has got this held for the moment. I am very surprised to not see anything else from Mana right now. I really, really am. They're finally looking for the expansion, but he's so far behind. The income comparison tells the story right now. And if you look at the unit count, you will see 31 SCVs and mules, of course, to 28 probes. And Kas is in the position he wants to be. He holds it on bare minimum. He doesn't go overboard with it. Now starting to follow up with additional barracks, and Mana is forced to pull back. Double Forge coming up right now. Mana needs to make up that upgrade deficit. He is well aware of this. Level 1 infantry armor coming up for him as well. And look at this. This defense is unbreakable. To be fair, Kas doesn't even need it. Still that pylon. That could be good to snipe off. And Kas with no map control right now. He has no Zelnaga watchtowers to his name. Pylon for Mana. Nexus coming up. Economic situation still in favor of Empire Kas. And 2 more barracks to follow it up with. There's the factory as well. Are we looking for medivacs or are we looking for armory for upgrades? We could be looking for both. There's the double upgrades coming up right now for Mana. However, the army count has swung back in favor of Kas, as is his worker supply count by a very significant amount. And we're not just talking SCVs. We're talking a lot of mules. 4 coming down right here as well. It's a 3rd orbital command. He's actually playing macro with this right now, using this as a macro orbital command center, and he'll no doubt drop it down here when he feels that he's ready to do so. For the moment, it's just supplying SCVs to this natural expansion so he can get nice and saturated. In the meantime, a Twilight Council on the way up for Mao's mana and looking to try and catch a third base, second expansion. He does need it. Kas has such a massive economic lead on him at the moment. Also, if I recall correctly, and I, of course, am right on this particular matter, he has no Robotics Bay, so no Colossus. Didn't even have a Robotics Facility. Neither of the two. He is going for Templar. It's to be expected. It's Mao's mana. Of course, he is going for Templar. His Psystorms are that of legend, folks. The question is, will they be able to get enough Templar out in time before the aggression comes in? Empire Cast does the swap. Armory is coming up for upgrades and Starport for double Medivac. And then Cast, I imagine, will start to attack. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't poked yet. He does have an army supply advantage. He would be able to break it, especially with his current upgrades. The longer he waits, of course, the more upgrades his opponent will be able to build. Ghost Academy coming up as well. Very smart for Cast. Get some EMPs on the field and, of course, break down a couple of these bunkers. There's no need to have it right now. That's a scouting factory. It'll take about 5 minutes to scout anything, but it will spot that proxy pylon. Could be kind of handy. Psystorm on the way. 1 Templar up and more on the field. Kas still not going in just yet. I felt that there was a window there that Kas could have gone in and done some big damage. He decided not to. If he waits too long, he's going to get Psystormed, and that's going to hurt. Even with Kas's micromanagement, and as legendary as it is, I'm still kind of concerned. Mobius Reactor on the way. Ghosts will be coming, and that's nice. That's very, very nice. Of course, he knows Mana is very much a Templar player. He loves the Psystorms. He's very good with them. His aim is outstanding. He leads the target very nicely. He sets up traps very nicely. So those Ghosts will be able to counter those High Templar quite nicely, and of course the EMP will prove to be useful when trying to throw a large Bioforce. 72 army supply to 46. Still, I wonder why Kas does not go in. He has such a massive advantage over his opponent right now. He could do big damage. And indeed, you'll notice that Mao's mana has his forces pulled all the way back, but he will gain early warning. He does have control of that Xel'Naga Watchtower. He's got map control, and here we go. Kas now rolling in. This is not so much of a timing attack. In fact, it's not a timing attack at all. Infantry weapon, level 2 is on its way. He does have 4 Medivacs to back it up. This is going to be hard for Mana to repulse. A couple of good Psystorms could do it. Psystorm research is complete right now. He's going to get early warning, as you can see. That expansion is still on its way, and Kas does have a big lead. He really, really does. His economy is looking absolutely fantastic right now. As you can see, it's stomping Mana into the ground. Those upgrades are on the way for Mana, and he will start to gain a lead, but he's not going to... Actually, he will. He'll gain ground attack upgrade before Empire Cast does. Something to consider, certainly. In he goes, and he goes, and he goes. Here comes the damage. Does he have what he needs? It's kind of narrow, and he runs right into a Psystorm, and another Psystorm. Ouch! That has to hurt. Kas has just been thrown out of there. However, there are no more Psystorms to deliver. If he's able to fix him up with the Medivacs, no Medivacs were taken out, then he should be able to continue. And, of course, he's looking to try and flank. He's going around the other side. Not too much damage was done, really, in terms of losing units, but Kas is not feeling it right now. He needs to fix up those units, and that's a lot of units to heal. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't seem to consider about Psystorm. Yes, Psystorm kills a bunch of dudes, but what it also does is it delays an attack by doing mass damage across a large number of units that has to be healed up. It's not worth throwing yourself in there if you don't have that. And that's giving Mana the opportunity he needs to get his economy back on track. Army supply count is still in favor of Kas very significantly, but worker supply count has started to tighten up. And upgrade advantage is getting in favor of Mana right now. That armor in particular will start to blunt the effectiveness of those Marines. Admittedly, it's primarily Marauder Force, 37 and 13. Level 2 upgrade is up. Here's the level 3 on its way, and 5 more Ghosts. Mana is not just going to stand idle, however, as you can see. Going to push forward, but he is so outnumbered. The army supply count is double for Empire Cast right now. If Mana were to be caught out in the open, even with those Psystorms, I do fear, I really do. A small drop on the way out right here for Cast. Single Marine, 3 Marauders on its way out. We'll keep an eye on that one. A couple of units moving across the field. It's a double drop. It's a triple drop, in fact. Another expansion coming here for Kas as well, and he's going to start applying pressure to Mana. The thing about Mana right now is that his force is very much bunched up in one place, looking to defend down the bottom to this ramp. It is vulnerable to drop play. However, Mana is really good at these early warning probes. Does he miss it? Oh, good lord, he does. Will he get it on the next one? Look at that. Oh, so close. He evades the patrol. Some solid snake action going in right here. Ah, he's just box. I think not, baby puppy, for Empire Kas has a nasty drop coming in right now. Feedback, Psystorms, ouch! So much for the nasty drop, but he is able to get in there. Another Storm. Kas walks right into it. Ouch. Well, that's that drop completely ruined, but in the meantime, he does have this one, denying this expansion. That expansion is not coming up. Good lord, he ran straight into that. Wow. That is uncharacteristic from Empire Kas right there. And Mana straight in with the Archons. Now here comes the second attack. It's still a big army supply lead in favor of Empire Kas, and that was a lot of Storm energy used. Used at least 3 Storms right there. There's only 4, and I do count them 4 High Templar available. This engagement could be decisive one way or the other. Kas looks for it. A little bit of feedback going on right there. Eats a Storm at the front. Indecisive engagement. Mana still with plenty of mana. Lots of energy available right here. Now he does have this base. Empire Kas sitting down here. He's got great, absolute great economy going on. Looking really good. Army supply is starting to tighten up. That's not what Kas wanted at all. A wasted opportunity. Great defensive Storms put in place right here by Mao's Mana. If there's anything you should never underestimate, it's Mana Storms. Yes, indeed, it's Mana Storms. They are so nasty, so very, very lethal. Mana with a couple more Archons on the field right now. A small scouting force, just keeping an eye on things, trying to hold on to map control. He does have only one of those Xel'Naga watchtowers. That's proving to be a bit problematic. Another drop coming in down the side right here. There's plenty of Zealots, and we've also got Templar to actually guard against that, so I'm not too worried. Hell, a Templar would be able to snipe that Medivac off right now. Look at the amount of energy it's got. A feedback would take that Medivac out entirely, but Mana's a little bit slow on that because he's more concerned about this engagement right here. Heavily Marauder-based force right now. Archons trying to chew their way through there. Good damage done right there. The EMPs, those shields shut down, and the energy of those High Templar taken out primarily. Archon takes an EMP. Here comes the driving attack in right now. And Mana with a fighting retreat. Lots of Medivacs to back this one out as well. Big EMP at the front. And a Storm. He walks straight into it again. What is it with Kas walking into Storms today? This is a terrible idea. Look at the amount of damage he just took. Oh my god. It's brutal. Will Mana be able to repulse it, however? Army count is dropping like a rock right here. Empire Kas took a huge amount of damage. However, another EMP coming off. Kas should be able to hold this, I would think, if he's able to take the Archons out. Oh my god! 5 Archons now on the field, and Empire Kas in a routing situation. No way! He didn't see that one coming. No, he did not. And as it turns out, Marauders not so great against Archons with level 3 weapon. 47 biological damage. Archons clean it up. Kas, this is a combination of Kas walking into Storms, which I really don't expect from Kas. His micro is usually much better than that. And mass Archon play by Mana. What a great strategy that was against heavy Marauders with +3/+3. His upgrade count is looking amazing. And Kas is just working on +2 infantry armor. He's way behind. Zealot charge up, of course. All of those upgrades he could possibly want. Now finally into Colossus. He's building 3 Colossus at once, ladies and gentlemen. That's the state of his economy right now. It's looking pretty good. He's still behind his opponent in that regard. He's sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. He's only just got one sorted out right there. He's had his base denied several times. Kas now looking for the 6th. Plenty of expansion space on this particular map, folks. If you're looking for macro, Tal'Darim Altar is the place to be. There is no question. Empire Kas pushing across the field once again. And does he have the army supply count? He does, but it's not a huge advantage this time around. He's gone into these engagements with big advantages, and now it's an Archon Colossus force. The last time I saw that be effective was in Battlecraft. It turns out it might work out pretty well for him this time. Big EMP, there's the stim and the repulse. Pushing him right back right here. Here comes the counterattack, nails down several Zealots. The Archons need to be targeted. There's a Storm. Kas gets out of it fairly rapidly, but still takes a big amount of damage in the process. Does he have the Medivac? He might. He's still getting beaten back right here, though. Not liking it for Kas at all. Not liking it. Loses more ghosts. There's a pick up and go. He has to evacuate. He's going to lose it. The Archons pick it off right there. Oh, my. Oh, my. His army's account. The army's account? That's a new word, folks. His army's account, folks. It plunges once again. Somehow Mana holds against repeated bio attacks. And I don't know if this is going to work out for Kas. I really, really don't. He's got Banshees now on the field to help support that. But this Colossus count is getting really nasty. Colossus, of course, not quite as effective against Marauders, but still pretty nasty, especially with +3 upgrade. They're also very hard to kill with that +4 upgrade on that. Surprised not to see some shield upgrades coming in from Mao's Mana right now. Plenty of Archons on the field, and they have done good damage. They really, really have. They have tanked a lot of damage, and they've dealt a lot of damage. That one's on 9 kills. That one's on 10. Very, very good. Drops on the way, and he should be able to get out of that. Yeah, that's going to be very, very dangerous. Cannons are coming down, but there's not enough of them to deny it. Now, Empire Cast's 6th base has been scouted right here. Observer on the field, perhaps? Yes, indeed. There's the Observer, and those Banshees will be easily cleaned up. Here's the drop coming down right here. There's another drop, as you can see right there, and that will be that. That base should go down, honestly. I don't think Mana will be able to respond in time for that. He is going for a warp in, of course. No Psy Storms right there. Feedback, evacuation. In fact, now, since he's focusing on it, he might be able to save this. It is a possibility. No, I don't think so. There we go. It will go down. Kas will lose those forces, but it was definitely worthwhile. A Banshee and more pressure coming in across here. And Kas expanding to the other side of the map this time. Another Banshee on the way over. Plenty of photon cannons to deal with those cloaks. A lot of Marauders on the field. Look at that, 34 right here. A lot of upgrades as well. More Marauders coming in and 2 more bases for Empire Kas. That's another base going down right here. And Kas might eventually be able to grind his opponent down. However, Mana has an army count advantage. If only he is able to deal with the immobility of his forces right now, then and get a decisive engagement on Empire Kas, he will be able to push back quite effectively. There's the feedback, picking off yet another one of those ghosts right here. The High Templar doesn't do a huge amount, but the charge is coming in. It's coming in pieces, however. Could be a little bit risky, certainly. Like we've got another drop coming across the field. Kas looking to just take out way more expansions. Yeah, try that one again. Way more expansions right now, but his force just got completely cleaned up. Was that worth it? Let's check the income comparison. It looks like it might be. It's a temporary situation, certainly. He'll be able to rebuild behind that. And he scouts that one as well, so he can do all sorts of things with a couple of drops right now. Is that a double planetary fortress? It may very well be. That would be a little bit crazy, wouldn't it? I assume he's going to lift that off, but hey, double planetary fortress is kind of effective, is it not? The problem is he's got to now deal with Mana's vicious counterattack. 6 Colossus in the field, and we're looking at also 9 High Templar. Dangerous, folks. Banshee harassment trying to deny yet another expansion. Kas sees what's coming. Does he have what he needs to deal with it? More Marauders coming in. Here come the Ghosts. Looks for the snipe. Ineffective. Charges right into the Ghost line. You know what? Let's just pull it back and let's see what's going on right there. Look at this. Massive storm. A big bunch. Huge storms right now ripping through Kas. Kas can't hold against that. Question is, can he take out the Colossus? He takes one and looks for the second. He probably won't get it. Cleaned up right now. Kas could end up losing this one, honestly. Those Colossus continue to stay alive. No drops available for Kas right now. Mana doing massive damage. Kas has nothing to defend against this. This is looking very likely, looking incredibly likely we'll see a second GG right here in this lengthy game from Kas, who did huge damage to his opponent, but still. How are you going to deal with that many Colossus with that many upgrades? It's incredibly hard to do. Kas tries to gather up a force, but with an Archon backing it up, it's not going to happen. Looks to take the Colossus, he's unable to do so. More reinforcements streaming in. Chargelets coming in right across this land. Surely Kas is in incredible trouble. He does have more production facilities down the side. He can perhaps afford to lose his main. I just don't see a comeback from this. Mass lift coming in right now. More orbital commands right there. Empire Kas still has a reasonable economy going, but he needs to gather a good force up to deal with this. There are still High Templar in the mix, which is going to make matters very difficult. He goes for that heavy Bioforce. 10 Marauders, 3 Banshees on the field right now, 6 Colossus, plenty of Stalkers, Archons, Chargelets, High Templar, whatever the hell you want. He's got everything, folks. He is, and it's all for sale. Mana cleaning up those supply depots, which could cause immense problems for Empire Kas. Supply count is plummeting. That's a lot of supply taken out right there. 80 cleaned up. Bringing in reinforcements is going to be difficult, and almost took that one out right there, but it stays alive, only just. Mana continues to clean up all the production facilities. That's a supply block for Empire Kas. This is going to be really hard. He will look for an engagement. He's gathered the remainder of his forces right now. He's got the Marauders. It's just going to be really hard to deal with Mana. It really, really is. Looks for the cleanup. He's in a very narrow corridor as well. He's going to take a lot of Colossus fire if he goes in right there. He continues with the defense. He thinks he might be able to do it. He does have a reasonable economy still. If you can see it right there, it's not as dire as it looks. He can pull it off, but with that amount of Colossus firepower, it looks very unlikely. Even without the storms, there's the cloak right there, focusing on the Archon, trying to bring it down. The Archon does eventually pop, but not without taking 2 Banshees with it, charging right into the line right here. Chargelets repulsed once again. Kas holds for the time being. Right now, Mana is looking to clean up all sorts of expansion possibilities. GG, ladies and gentlemen, after 35 minutes. Kas gives it up. Mana cleans it up a second time in his best of 5 series.